One of the biggest concerns of someone moving to Italy tax-wise is to understand when and how you have to deal with the Italian residency officially. It feels like, this big brother is watching you, but since there are so many moving targets on the play, when they will start checking your finances, or in other words, when do you have to start paying your taxes? Most of the law articles, opinions out there refer to the famous 103 days principle, the time principle. For example, if you register to the anagrafe of a given municipality and your name is sitting there for more than 6 months, no matter how many days you spend out of the country, you'll be considered a tax resident by assumption, or basically just according to the strict application of Article 2 of our Italian tax code. Likewise, if you move to Italy, and in this case no registration whatsoever, and you spend more than 103 days in Italy, even split in few rounds during the calendar year, you'll be rewarded with the status of tax resident of Italy. Maybe you're not aware of, but there are other ways for you to become a tax resident, even without even notice, even worse, without even feeling like you're coming to that conclusion. When you buy a property in Italy, you're going to be asked how you will apply for the purchase. Are you using the property as your main residence, or are you moving your tax domicile there within 18 months? A lot of people get seriously fascinated by the tax break, since the option comes with the lowball offer of just 2% registration tax instead of the average 9%. So time passes by, and a lot of expats, hard to believe I know, forget about that commitment. But the deed, the official piece of paper that you sign, has been registered to the Agenzia delle Entrate, so they know. Or let me pick better words, they are waiting for you. The bell rings, and 1 year and a half pass by, and it's time for you to pay your dues. And no one will ever send you a text message to remind you the deadline. Eventually, you receive a noted and an impressive tax bill if you skip the appointment. That's it. Now, let's assume that you have your wife in Italy, kids in Italy, but you work for a US company and you spend less than 30 days in Italy in a given year. Where do you think you are more liable? The dual taxation agreement in force between your country of residency and Italy, generally speaking, dictates the way both countries will decide how to consider your fiscal position. And the golden rule is where you have more social connections and financial ties. In this case, Italy could potentially consider your fiscal case not based on, following domestic rules, the 103 days, but applying the tiebreaker rules against you. Who doesn't make mistakes? My hands are down, as you can see. If you make a mistake in your foreign tax return, maybe putting your Italian address in the foreign tax return, bad things could happen. If you file an Italian tax return and you check wrong boxes, the same issue will come. Being consistent, compliant, and correct are just the big three lessons here to stay away from troubles. Tax residency in Italy is not only behavior-based, data-based, or strictly financial-based, but it's also proven by the way you recap things from your end, the way you move money into and out your Italian bank account, the information you give your Italian employer if you want to work remotely, the way you invoice your clients if you're a freelancer, the way you pay your pension contributions, how you file a single box in the Italian payment form. So if the question from your end is, how do I become an Italian tax resident? I will basically answer, how do you know you're not a tax resident already?